Welcome to KIPP, Massachusetts. I'm Nikki Barnes, and I'm the Executive Director, and I'm really excited to share with you the programming we have for special education. First, you should know at KIPP, Massachusetts, we refer to our students as exceptional learners because we know a student can have a special education need and be gifted in another way. And we start programming as early as kindergarten all the way up through 12th grade. The programming that we have here includes one-to-one aids for students who need them. We have sub-separate classes for students who are autistic or on the autism spectrum, as well as classes for students who have social emotional disabilities.
When I started at KIPP, I was a 5th grade math learning specialist, so my goal was to provide small group instruction to students with IEPs and students who just needed additional supports. And then there was about 4 or 5 students who had alternate tests, who did not take the state test. And within that group of kids, we developed what's called our STRIVE program. Students who have cognitive disabilities, students on the spectrum, students who really need a modified curriculum, and that was always a passion of mine, to provide students who need the most exactly what they deserve and what they needed. So that was the STRIVE program, and then from there we had students who had a lot of exposure to trauma, students who had a lot of social emotional needs, and from that we created our ACHIEVE program. And within both programs, they're called substantially separate programs. So you see 2 learning specialists with as many classroom aides as student need.
That I really think that we as a team developed and made stronger in STRIVE was just like the way that students are able to come in and come out. I think that was one of the things that really got better during the time that I was in there, making sure that we weren't using STRIVE as like a gatekeeping room. Like, kids were able to come in, but kids were also able to leave, and then we were using it as like a revolving door. So there are students who may not be in STRIVE for all day or all of their classes, or there might be students who are in general ed who might come in for a certain class they need. Like, I really enjoyed seeing that part of STRIVE happen, and just really seeing how many kids that started off in STRIVE were able to go back and join their gen ed peers.
So a speech language pathologist, or an SLP, provides speech and language therapy for students with communication needs. So this can look like language intervention, things like supporting comprehension and expression. It can be supporting articulation or speech production, as well as fluency or stuttering. We also support students with pragmatic language needs. These are things like social skills. So we provide direct intervention. We can provide indirect intervention through push-in or collaboration with teachers and other service providers.
So currently, as an AP, I directly manage the substantially separate special education program here at Cal. So our program BUUVA goes from 5th through 8th grade. So I coach our substantially separate teaching team, both on instruction and curriculum, on how to make the curriculum accessible for all learners. And I also support with general inclusion across the school. Specifically, I've been running SST, our student support team, to ensure that all students across the building get the supports they need.
So the point of our small groups are that students will get the support they need in the reading skills that they may be behind on, while at the same time they're not missing out on their general ed 7th or 8th grade English class. They're also getting the support they need maybe in decoding if they struggle with letter sounds, or they have dyslexia, or reading comprehension strategies that their classroom teacher isn't going to go over. I supplement their day with that.
So to write an IEP, we have an annual IEP meeting. So that's when I, as a learning specialist, and everybody else on my team, we run the IEP meeting with the families. We tell them how they're currently doing, and then we tell them how or what goals we want them to work on next. And that is, everything is with family feedback, family input. So if they're saying, for example, oh, I think they're good in math, we don't want a math goal, then the family is able to say, well, actually I do want them to keep working on math. Can we make a math goal? And we'll say, yeah, of course we can still keep working on math. So family input is so important to us because families know them, you know, like we are also their family here, but as a family at home, so important. And it's very important that we collaborate because ultimately we want the same thing for the child. We want them to feel successful, we want them to feel confident, and we want them to just be happy and learn as much as they can.
We have students who get visual support, students who get ABA services, speech, OT, like I said, push in for inclusion, instruction one-on-one. We really tailor each student's program to what they need.
Yep, so we also do full evaluations where we evaluate students based on everything that I just mentioned, and then we provide an intervention plan with goals that goes into their IEPs.
I work really closely with students inside of the general education classroom setting, providing accommodations, and my favorite thing is when I find a learning strategy that works really well for a particular student's learning difference, and then I feel like I've figured out some kind of clue in a puzzle.
But when they got here, I was like, oh, are they gonna, receive ABA? I was told that they were gonna receive ABA. It was like, no, like we have something similar, which is counseling. And I thought they were gonna, be in like separate classrooms. And it's like, no, they're gonna be like, in an integrated classroom with, other students. And so like that in itself, really, I thought that was good. It was something that I had to get used to because I was so used to them kind of being in a separate classroom, but realized again that, being with other students, like that really, also helps them to kind of, like gain some confidence in their learning and realizing that they're not any different than any other student who doesn't receive services. So
I think I really love being able to see students excel, or like when they have those like moments when after like a moment, like after hard work, they're able to like really get it, and like the joy that just comes across their face in those moments is like the one thing that keeps me in this role.
Special ed department has been a godsend. I would not know how to even help. I now can help other parents with their IEPs and how it goes because Mr. Perry Friedman sat down and like explained what the means, student means, IEP means. Like he's like I was a newborn baby, and I appreciated that.
KIPP goes over and beyond in supporting my child with resources such as one-on-one speech therapy, occupational therapy, one-on-one aid, and mainstream class integration to encourage his social interactions.
Every kid can do it. It's really up to us, I think, as the teachers, and I say a lot to teachers, like, we have to turn the mirror on ourselves and really identify what the kids need.